Hello friends, myself Divyanshu Sharma and I am a second year student of MIT Law University, Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, and in present I am pursuing as a legal intern with working as a legal intern with LEXIS and Company. And my today's topic is Rajesh Yadav versus State of UP, right to shelter as a fundamental right. So first we will study what are the facts of the case. In this case, a public interest litigation (PIL) is filed for the removal of illegal possession and encroachment of respondent from particular plots in the district of Balia. These plots were recorded in the revenue records as Khel Ka Maidan, Khalihan, and Khadka Gadda after the order of the subdivisional magistrate. Some plots were recorded as Banjar and were allotted for residential purpose. The respondents constructed their houses. The district magistrate ordered the removal of shelters of the respondent in this case. The beneficiary was the son of the petitioner. PIL was filed by the petitioner because no action was taken against the respondent. The person who allocated the land has no other place other than these houses, which are made of tents and hut shed. Issues before the Allahabad High Court, whether removal of shelter of respondent would amount to the infringement of fundamental rights under Article 19, subclause 1, subsection E. Subsection 1, subclause E, read with Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, whether the cancellation of the lease should the state provide alternate accommodation to the respondent, whether any relief should be granted for this PIL, or then now we will study what is the judgment of the Allahabad High Court. The petitioner is guilty of attempting to infringe on the fundamental right of the respondent. Therefore, the petition is dismissed and exemplary cost is being imposed on the petitioner 20,000 rupees. And now we will study the right to shelter under COVID-19 pandemic. In the situation of pandemic, the economy of our country is almost in the state of recession. Nearly 41 lakhs of the youth population has lost their job and it's still counting. In the situation of COVID-19, it is essential that the people should possess with all basic necessities like food, clothing, shelter and education. Though efforts were taken by the central government to provide food and transportation facilities to the worker, this is sufficient. It is essential to provide the worker. This is essential to provide them a shelter. The government should fasten their efforts, which would help in achieving the target before 2022. Critique. It is necessary that there should not be a forced eviction that would affect them and they would be left with no space to study. It's equally important to strike a balance between economic growth and human development. The judgment pronounced by the Allahabad High Court is a significant step in compliance with the provision of housing for all. Another important point that was made by the court in order of the state to evict the payment dwellers, they are bound by the duty to allocate alternate accommodation facilities to them. Right to property is equally essential, just like any other fundamental right. The state should not violate the right granted to the citizen and comply with both national and international provisions. And now we have came to the conclusion that one of the essential way to curb the problem is by educating people. It is many times noticed that people aren't about their right. It was rightly in the case of Shantisthar Builders versus Narayan Totem that the right to life would take within its sweeps the right to food, the right to clothing, the right to a decent environment and a reasonable accommodation to live in. Though on various occasions schemes of housing for all have been passed by the government but have failed tremendously in order to fulfill this dream. Both center and the state need to come together to satisfy the need of the shelter of the needy and vulnerable group living in our society. So thank you friends, I hope that you like my video, and if you have any problem related to the topic, please let me know in the comment section. I will figure out the problem, and don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Thank you and have a nice day.